Imagine waking up one morning to find a mysterious, old, dusty book lying on your nightstand. It's the kind of book that looks like it belongs in a treasure chest buried on a deserted island. Curious, you flip open the cover, and there, in ancient-looking script, it reads, "The Power to Change History, a Guide for the Brave." Now you're probably thinking, is this some kind of prank? But you can't shake off the feeling that this is something extraordinary. As you turn the pages, you realize this book isn't just for show. It's a manual, yes, a manual, on how to alter any moment in history with just a thought. You quickly get the hang of it, concentrate on a date, focus on an event, and bam, you're right there in the thick of things, with the power to change it all. And let's be honest, who wouldn't be tempted to tweak a few things in the past? The possibilities are endless. But hold up, before you go galloping off to rewrite history, let's think about this for a second. Changing history isn't as simple as fixing a typo in a text message. There's a ripple effect, like throwing a stone into a pond, where each tiny wave has the potential to change the course of everything that follows. So, what would you do first? Maybe you decide to go big, like stopping that asteroid from wiping out the dinosaurs. But wait, if the dinosaurs never went extinct, would humans even exist? You might have just erased yourself from existence? Oops. Okay, so maybe you try something less drastic. How about giving Cleopatra a heads up that her empire is in trouble? You send her a quick note, "Hey Cleo, maybe don't trust those Romans so much, but that little nudge might lead to Egypt becoming a world superpower." Sounds cool, right? Until you realize that now, in 2024, you might be living under an Egyptian empire, complete with hieroglyphics on your smartphone, and good luck getting Wi-Fi under a pyramid. Alright, let's dial it back even more. How about we go back to the American Revolution? You decide to help George Washington win a few more battles early on. Simple enough, right? But by doing that, you might have just turned the US into a global empire way sooner than expected. Suddenly the 1800s are a time of American dominance, and the British? Well, they might be the ones asking for independence. Every little change has a domino effect. It's like rewriting the ending of your favorite movie, only to realize that now the middle doesn't make any sense. And trust me, history is way more complicated than any blockbuster. But let's have some fun with it. What if you went back and gave William Shakespeare a laptop? Sure, he'd probably write a lot faster, and Romeo and Juliet would be an even bigger hit. But what if he got distracted by cat videos on YouTube? We might have ended up with Romeo and Juliet and Mittens the cat, and no one's quoting that in English class. Or imagine popping into Leonardo da Vinci's workshop and handing him a drone. No more sketches of flying machines, he'd be out there testing the real deal. But then again, if Leonardo had actual flying machines, would we have even needed the Wright brothers? Poor Orville and Wilbur might have been out of a job before they even got started. Now some of you might be thinking about fixing those big dark moments in history, the ones we all wish never happened. But here's the thing. Even changing the worst events can have unexpected consequences. Preventing a major war might seem like a good idea, but what if that war was the catalyst for technological advancements that saved millions of lives later on? Suddenly your good deed has a bittersweet twist. And don't even get me started on the idea of meeting your ancestors. Sure, you could give your great-great-grandfather some life advice, but then you risk altering your entire family tree. Maybe he takes your advice too seriously, changes his career path, and suddenly you're related to a totally different set of people. You come back to the present day and surprise, your family doesn't recognize you anymore. But let's face it, the temptation to change history is strong. Who wouldn't want to tweak a few things? Maybe you'd prevent a few heartbreaks, or perhaps give your younger self a heads up about that bad haircut in middle school. But here's the kicker. Even the smallest changes could lead to a world you don't recognize. It's a wild thought, isn't it? The idea that one little tweak here or there could unravel the whole fabric of time. Maybe that's why history is so fascinating. It's like a puzzle that can't be solved, a story that can't be rewritten. But here's the good news. While we can't change history, we can definitely learn from it. After all, if we could fix everything in the past, we might never grow, adapt, or innovate in the present. The mistakes, the triumphs, the lessons, they all make us who we are today. So next time you're daydreaming about rewriting history, remember this. The power to change the past might seem like the ultimate superpower, but it's the choices we make today that really shape our future. Speaking of choices, if you're interested in exploring more about history, check out the links in the description. I've found some fascinating products that dive deep into the past, from historical fiction books to cool gadgets inspired by ancient inventions. Who knows, they might just inspire you to appreciate the history that's already been written. And with that, let's leave history where it belongs, in the past. After all, it's what we do next that counts.